Greetings and salutations. It's me, Patricia Cori, and I decided to pop on to YouTube and do a impromptu philosophical moment, a moment of Zen, because the subject came up about where is it safe? Because I'm starting my sacred journeys again. The question came up, is it safe to go to Turkey? Is it safe to go here? Is it safe to go there? And I was contemplating it. I went out to sit in the sun, which we haven't had for maybe 7 months. And the sky is full of chemtrails. And I thought, is it safe to sit in the sun? Is it safe to breathe? And so I wanted to address this because, as I wrote on Facebook, where I'm active, the concept of safety is a tool now used by the, let's call it power elite, let's call it world order, whatever you term works for you. I have to remember to look at the camera. We get this "it's not safe" message all the time, and this will make you safe. Everything will make you safe is run by the system. So, well, hi there. How are you, Artemis? Thanks for listening in and catching me. So I wanted to address this concept from a philosophical and humorous, which is my tool for communication, point of view. What the hell is safe? If you consider, we'll start out with the bad news, right? If you consider that the air is completely poisoned, when I first moved here, there were no chemtrails, or at least not visible, and I studied the skies since I first came out with the book, The Cosmos of Soul, back in 1998. I've been examining the sky because my guides, the Syrian High Council, introduced chemtrails to me back then. We're talking 30 years ago. Still today, people don't see them. Okay. If you can see it, a grid above your city with stripes that don't go away, and that once blue skies turn into hazy goop, you can't see that, or you think it's airplanes that are just passing by. At least question yourself, why do they keep passing by? Why don't they ever go away? Nope, they keep laying down these grids. And it is such an interesting question that very few people ask themselves, is where do they get all these damn planes? The whole planet is being trailed. There's not a place I've been, I've said this before, where there aren't chemtrails. It's like, where do they get these planes? How, besides governments? I mean, come on. And the ludicrousness of the fact that we're told that we have to watch our carbon footprint, and yet these planes are flying all day long, 24 hours a day, all over the planet, but that's okay. Does that make us safe? No, it does not. So again, when your safety is in the hands of the people that are removing your safety, you have to eventually ask yourself, what is it that I'm clinging to with this search for safety? So let's start with the question of travel, which is why I decided to come on. Is it safe to travel? Is it safe to stay in your house? I quoted somewhere else the story from time ago that I'll never forget. I read whereby this man lived near Heathrow Airport, and he was terrified of travel. He vowed he would never get on a plane, and he never did. But what happened? An airplane went off course, landing in Heathrow. I'm talking probably 4 decades ago. And it landed on his house, and it killed him, and I think it killed his family too. There's an irony about all of this that mustn't be ignored or missed in our lives. So, okay, the question of where is it safe to travel? Because I'm taking, in case any of you have not heard, I'm doing a great moment to do a little plug for it. I'm doing a journey to Turkey, April 3rd to 15th, 2026, in search of the quest for zero time. Going to be magnificent. If you're interested, drop me a request on my website, patriciacori.com, and I'll get you out the program and the information. At any rate, a few people have said, is it safe to travel there? So yesterday, somebody walked into a private children's party and started, I think, shooting up the kids. One died and bled out in front of the other children. Several of them were injured. Where was this? North Carolina. You'd think it would be safe, although, of course, it had floods, it had tornadoes, it had hurricanes. That wasn't very safety oriented. But my point here is, if you restrict your life in pursuit of safety, you are screwed. You are done, because there is no safe place on this planet. The idea that there is a place where, let's call it safety from the point of view of a place where a calamity won't happen, forget it. So just to do a quick overview, we've got California now. They've got a magma on the run underground in California. The San Andreas Fault ready to blow. Big volcano out on the ocean outside Oregon ready to blow. Yellowstone, we won't even discuss. If that happens, we're like toast. I haven't even gotten off the West Coast yet, right? Earthquakes everywhere, flooding everywhere, manipulated weather systems, strange rays that zap forests, places that were once paradise like Hawaii, volcanoes blowing, very bizarre forest fires. I don't think I need to run through it, because the bottom line is I can go all around the planet and there's not a single place where something unsafe is not unfolding, or is about to unfold. You've got volcanoes everywhere blowing, and rageful acts of violence happening everywhere. Children's parties, these maniacs seem to be really going for the children, and women, of course, but that's not limited to. And we won't even discuss the danger that is brewing in the Ukraine-Russia situation. So we've got Ukraine dropping bombs on Russian nuclear bombers. My message here in this brief, and something I hope to impart to all of you, is a message I've certainly shared before, and is certainly a theme in all of my work and my books. And that is, you came in to this lifetime when you deemed it appropriate for your soul journey. You chose it. I know it's hard to believe, because, as much as there's disharmony on this planet, some people think, why would I choose to come into such a mess? But you did. And while we long for lounging in the placid waters of our former lives on other planets, let's not forget, how silly. Let's remember that the greatest work we do as souls is challenging ourselves, rising above obstruction, rising above the challenges, the fear, the difficulty, achieving, aspiring. I am a person who I had a mother who nurtured me that way, to be strong and to dream big. And I always have. There's been plenty of obstruction. I'm not for a minute suggesting it's been an easy road. And in fact, I wouldn't want it. I don't want to lie back. To my dying day, I will be creating and going, exploring. And I've been to some pretty unsafe places and been treated like a queen and had the most extraordinary experiences. Others, not so much. But when we stop dreaming and exploring and wondering and wandering, and sit in our comfort so-called zone, where somebody could come in and blow you away. It certainly happens a lot in the United States. People living in fear, arming themselves for protecting themselves in case there's an invader. My point, of course, being, you can't live in fear that you're unsafe. I won't even go into the discussion of how everybody bought that because they thought they were told it was the only way to make them safe. And now, how many of those same people that went for it several times, are dead or very sick, but it was for their safety. My answer to those who are concerned about travel, not just to Turkey, but anywhere, is live your dreams. Make something special out of your life. As tenuous, sorry, I just saw something I had to grab. As tenuous as life is on this planet right now, we could be kaboom city in any moment. Because as I've always said, one good nuke is enough to destroy your day. When people talk, sorry to make a joke out of it, but we have to find the humor in such a drama. If they decide, for example, since the maniacs all want war, and since the European leaders are talking about nuking Russia, which would be a big mistake, but it just takes one mistake. And these aren't even mistakes. These are determined actions. They want it. Meanwhile, they all have bunkers, of course. So, blow the planet away. They'll go underground for 50 years and come back up if they're still alive with their breathe to rebuild whatever's left. All it takes is one kaboom. So if they bomb, I read somewhere that the Ukraine has bombed very close to a Russian nuclear facility. I'm not sure. That's not for sure. But it only takes one act for the whole thing to blow up. So with that in your mind, the potential, always the potential of the constant potential of being annihilated. And we won't even talk about aliens because that. In 2017, I'm going to do a video about Oumuamua. They cited this cigar-shaped thing. I mean, a lot of people are aware of it. It looked like a stone, very, very large. They called it an interstellar situation. It was so fast-moving through our system that by the time they really got around to examining and exploring it with whatever tools they had, it went careening out of our system and back to God knows where. Well, if you follow Michio Kaku, who is probably a voice for disclosure, he's openly talking about the fact that now Oumuamua has come back. We thought it was gone, and it was dismissed as some strange asteroid that, however, had the power to maneuver. Apparently, there are 3 back. The Muamua and baby Muamuas are back. It's like a fleet. It is such a Star Trek situation that it almost is ridiculous. Okay, so there's this fleet of Oumuamuas. I believe they're 3. They're back. And now they're discovering that they seem to have some sort of intelligent maneuverability. So we're not saying they're spaceships yet, but NASA and Kaku, who represents the powers that be, or the voice that must be heard, is talking about they have strange capabilities that would imply that they have intelligent maneuverability, i.e., that they're ships. And although we all fantasize and delight in the idea that ET is going to come and save us from ourselves, and wouldn't that be lovely? I would certainly be happy to see some benevolent, intelligent, loving beings pop in at this time of crisis on our planet. The reality is that we don't know that for sure. They will be benevolent. I mean, and I've said this before, so bear with me. If you were Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise and flying over the planet Earth and looking at what's going on here, would you believe this was a safe place to land? Safe again, right? Let's say a smart place to land. Chew on that idea for a while. So there's also, in the list of things that don't make us safe, the possibility that we're going to get zapped by some ET civilization. And it's close. I mean, these Oumuamua guys, they're here. 3. Like I said, it doesn't look very luminous to me energetically. I'm not thrilled about this Oumuamua. It's called Oumuamua because it was discovered in Hawaii in a telescope. Apparently, a Hawaiian university telescope was the ones that sighted them. So anyway, it doesn't look pleasant to me is all I can say. Energetically, I'm not seeing light here. Could be wrong. The point again being, and this is my end point because I'm going to make this brief. Finally, I'm going to manage being brief. The only safe place you've got is your heart. It's the knowing that life is tenuous at best, always has been. And it's meant to be temporary. The Buddhist monks show us this all the time with their mandalas. I remember being in Tibet and they were working on this gorgeous sand mandala. And by the time we left the temple, they blew it away. And the point being, of course, is that everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is meant to be held on to. Just create beauty and let it go. So, as Anthony Hopkins said so eloquently, eat the delicious ice cream. There's simply no time for anything else. And to everyone, I say, take the journey, jump in the ocean. You're going to get eaten by a shark? Probably not, but you might just swim with a dolphin. Celebrate life, eat the ice cream. For God's sakes, make your life meaningful. Whatever it is that makes you challenge your safety zone, don't buy into it. You're being controlled with this. Is it safe nonsense? No, it's probably not safe. Do it anyway, because safety is an illusion. And as I tell you, this party that just happened in North Carolina, I have friends whose grandchild was there and got shot in the leg. A children's private party. I think 12 kids were injured. One child was killed. So with that in mind, just know it's an excellent time to live the rest of your life and make it beautiful and meaningful and to get off your couch. Not that I'm criticizing anyone. I like my couch. But I'm back to, I was like most people after the vid drama, I was kind of stuck, not by will, and certainly not by fear, because I never, and I didn't experience much of the drama here on the island. So, and also because I tend to isolate anyway and paint and write and whatever, play with my animals. So not having social interactions was not a problem for moi. But I'm back now, and yes, I'm traveling, and yes, I'm doing my tours again, and yes, I'm going to speak in England, and I long for that interaction, that joy, that meeting of the minds, exploring new places. Damn the torpedoes. If there's hell below, we're all going to go. That's an expression, not that I believe we're all going to hell by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just an expression, so don't make a deal out of it. All right, that's it. I am going. We have sun. That's a novelty. And we also have trails. So my question was to myself was, is it wise to grab some sun even though the goo is in the air? And the answer that I came up with is, I'm going to put a chair by my door, my sliding glass door, let the sun hit me without, being directly under it, so that in some ways I'm shielding myself from any goo. Oh, sorry, that's my dog. It's unbelievable that has to be a concern in our lives at this time, but it is. So there you go, guys. This is my brief on fearlessness. Nothing is safe. Everything is safe. Nowhere is safe. Everywhere is safe. The only thing that matters is that you know you're out of here at any moment. You could be gone, and you will be going on to a wonderful new place, or not. Maybe not so wonderful. Depends on your karma, but most likely you're progressing to another state of being. Hopefully, a much more refined energetically being, a place where your karmic rewards reveal themselves in the environment and energy that surrounds and is within you. That's something to look forward to, not to fear. This is Patricia signing out for now. Take care. Oops. Once again, so tricky. I can't seem to sign out. Here you go. Found it. All right. I'm going to go do the sun thing and get some vitamin D on this skin. Love you guys.